Good morning and welcome students. Today we are going to discuss about the abiotic stress physiology. So before going to discuss about the actual physiology of the stress in plants, so let us discuss about the definitions for the stress and strain. What is stress and what is strain? So stress is nothing but the any change that occur in the environment of the plant. So this definition was given by the Levitt. So in the environment means it may be the temperature change or it may be intensity of the light or soil conditions, etc. So that is called as stress. So another that is otherwise called as cause. It may be the cause for the plant growth response. And what is strain? So stress and strain both go in hand together. So the strain is otherwise referred as the result of the stress. Okay, so that deviation, what is the strain actually? The deviation in the normal functioning of the plant due to the stress. So that is known as strain. And what are the different types of stresses that occur in the nature, so that are faced by the plants? So there are two types of stresses. One is biotic stress and the second one is abiotic stress. So if you coming to the biotic stress, so what is biotic stress actually? So the stress occurred due to various biological agents. So that is called as biotic stress. So the biological agents may be infection by the bacteria, fungi or virus, and it may be due to herbivores like insects, animals, etc., or it may be due to competition among the plants or weeds. Due to presence of the weeds also there may be competition for the nutrients and the light. So like that the competition among the plants also, in between plants also there will be some competition that may lead to the stress in the plant. So that is these are the different types of the biotic stresses. And coming to the abiotic stresses, so there are various kinds of abiotic stresses that are exposed by the plants. So what are those? Let us see one by one. Water stress. So that may be due to shortage of water, that is due to drought, and maybe due to excess water. So that is due to flooding conditions. So that is water stress. And the temperature stress may be due to high temperatures or low temperatures. Again there are two types of low temperature stresses, like chilling stress or frost freezing stress. So that is the temperature stress. And the third one is the radiation stress. So radiation in the sense light. So high light intensity or low light intensities, a plant will expose to different kinds of light intensities like UV radiations and ionizing radiations. So all these comes under the radiation stress. And the fourth one is the chemical stress, that is due to presence of the salts, mineral salts and in the soil, and pollutants, presence of the various pollutants in the atmosphere. So and gaseous toxins also, some kind of gases that lead to the stress in the plant. And the fifth one is the mechanical stress, and which may caused by the wind, heavy winds and soil movement like soil erosion due to heavy rains. So that also causes the stress in the plant. So these are all various different types of the abiotic stresses that are causing the plant growth, that leads to the stress in the developing the stress in the plant. And in summary, so the actually what happens in the plant, so based on these stresses, both biotic as well as abiotic stresses causes the leads to the response. So first when the plant exposed to the stress, like abiotic as well as biotic stresses, so first immediately the plant will respond. So in different ways. So what are those? First, in some plants are able to resist the stress condition. Some plants cannot resist, so they are highly susceptible to the stress conditions. And the in some plants, avoidance, some plants will avoid the stress conditions. So these, basically these three types of responses that are posed by the plants. Okay, so what leads to the resistance? Actually, when the plant is able to resist the stress conditions, so it can acclimatization of the plant to the environmental changes, and it leads to the growth and survival of the plant. So plant under, when the plant respond in a way of resistance, so it can survive. So if the plant is unable to resist, it is when it is susceptible to the stress conditions, when it respond in a susceptible way, so it leads to the senescence and death of the plant. And the third way of the response of the plants to the stress conditions is avoidance. So they are highly smart plants. Actually, they will avoid immediately when the stress occurs. So the plant will switch over to the reproductive stage. So immediately it will produce the flowers, and it will produce seeds at a faster rate, and it will undergo the dormancy. So like that, it will try to avoid the stress conditions, and ultimately the species is able to survive to some time. And whenever the stress conditions released, so again the plant is able to, the seed will germinate, and then the the plant will grow. Like that, usually all the annuals, all the grass species, so they will during the rainy season they will grow, they will germinate and grow, and then immediately whenever the temperatures rises, environmental temperatures increases, so immediately they will produce the seed, flowers and seeds, and then they will undergo the dormancy. So like that, these are the various ways of the responses of the plants to the stress conditions, to both abiotic and biotic stress conditions. Thank you, students.